Okay, today we're going to talk about the sum to product and the product to sum formulas in trigonometry. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, we're going to change a sign plus sign, which is a sum, to a product of trig functions. Now, I would like to remind you what we learned earlier. Sine alpha plus beta equals sine alpha cosine beta plus cosine alpha sine beta. Okay, and also we learned sine alpha minus beta, which is the sine alpha cosine beta minus cosine alpha sine beta. Okay, so this is a formula one, formula two. If I add these two together, if I add them up, I will have sine alpha plus beta plus sine alpha minus beta. Did you notice the second term on the right side, they are pretty much the same, just have opposite signs? So when you add up, they're gone, and the first terms are the same. So that becomes a 2 sine alpha cosine beta. Well, this is interesting. This is a sine plus a sine. Here is a sine times a cosine. So we get the first formula, which is sine alpha cosine beta equals sine alpha plus beta plus sine alpha minus beta over 2. So that is the product to sum. And this is the sum to product. But the sum to product is not very obvious because we want to have sine alpha plus sine beta, that kind of version. So I would do this. I would let alpha plus beta equals A, alpha minus beta equals B. I just make that to be the one term, okay? So when I add this up, so my 2 alpha equals A plus B, and my 2 beta equals A minus B. So the first equation minus the second. Therefore, my alpha is going to be half of A plus B, and my beta is half of A minus B. And then I'm going to substitute them back here into this formula, So I will get sine A plus sine B equals twice of sine A plus B over 2 times cosine A minus B over 2. See? Sine plus sine becomes a sine times a cosine. So this is the product to sum. This is the sum to product. Okay, so this means that we can derive all those formulas from the sum and difference formula that we have in the earlier session. Okay, so I will show you the sum to product and product to sum formula, which I already have this here, these two. The product to sum formulas and the sum to product formulas. I just write it. Sine alpha sine beta equals something, and a cosine alpha cosine beta equals sine alpha cosine beta and a cosine alpha sine beta. Okay, so basically they're pretty much the same thing. And I would you to identify the left side when you do product to sum. You need to know it's a sine by sine, cosine by cosine, sine by cosine. And these two are exactly very similar. It should be the same thing, just to switch alpha and a beta. And then here, because you have a minus a beta, then this becomes here it will become beta minus alpha, so that's why it's negative. So this one you can just remember one of this instead of two. But if you like, you can also remember all of those. All right, now sum to product, which is like this form. Again, you need to identify it's a sine plus sine, sine minus sine, cosine plus cosine, and a cosine minus cosine. So you probably notice that we don't have like a sine plus a cosine, right? We don't have that. All right, now This eight formula, this set of eight formulas, again, you are not, I would not require my students to memorize them. However, I allow them to take this as the cheat sheet, and that will make their life much, much easier because they can just simply do the substitution. And let me give you a couple of examples so you can see how do you use it, okay? Right? Now, the example one, I ask you to simplify, express the product as a sum or a difference. So either one, okay, so that's a product to sum. This is the product, cosine 7x, cosine x. So cosine by cosine. Then we should use this, product to sum, cosine cosine. Cosine cosine is half of cosine difference plus the cosine of sum. So that would be, let me just write it here. Cosine alpha, cosine beta equals 1/2 of cosine alpha minus beta plus cosine alpha plus beta. Okay, in this case, you can compare. That will be your alpha. This is 7x is your alpha. This x is your beta. So you can have 1/2, okay, cosine, and alpha minus beta, which is 7x minus x. Okay, and then you plus cosine alpha plus beta, which is 7x plus x. Okay, so this is your formula. We just leave it there. And then the answer for this question will be 1/2 of cosine 6x plus cosine 8x. So you changed the look from product to sum. Okay. Number two, I do the same thing. I ask you to do this. Sine 5x and sine 2x. Sine 5x and sine 2x. Now, let me just write the formula in the box, okay? Sine alpha, sine beta. If you have the formula or the cheat sheet with you, if you can memorize this, it's going to be half of a cosine difference minus cosine sum. So that would be half of cosine alpha minus beta, okay, minus cosine alpha plus beta. Okay, in this case, we compare this formula with the given question. So sine times sine. So this is alpha, this is the beta. Therefore, I will have 1/2 of cosine alpha minus beta, which is 3x, minus cosine alpha plus beta, which is 5x, 2x, which is 7x. That's it. So that'll be your answer. So you can tell it's very easy as long as you can identify which formula you want to use, and then the rest will be very easy. Now next, I will ask you to express the sum as a product. So you know that you should use the other set of formula. So number three, let me just ask you, can you do sine 7x plus sine 3x? Sine plus sine, look at this. Sine times cosine, cosine times cosine, sine times sine. So this is the product, and here is the sum. Now I give you the formula here, sine alpha plus sine beta equals twice of sine alpha plus beta, and then cosine alpha minus beta over 2. So this is my formula. So first of the job you need to do is to identify which formula you're going to use. So you can tell there's a sine plus, sine minus sine, sine plus sine, and a cosine plus cosine, and a cosine minus cosine. So you identify, oh, I'm going to use the first one. All right, then the next thing is to identify what is A, what is alpha, what is beta, and then substitute it there. So my alpha is a 7x, my beta is a 3x. Can you tell? Therefore, that becomes twice of sine alpha plus beta, which is 7x plus 3x over 2, and then cosine alpha minus beta, 7x minus 3x over 2. So the answer is 2 sine, the top is 10x over 2, so that's 5x, and then cosine 7x minus 3x, 4x over 2, that's 2x. So that's it. That's your answer. Okay, so you change that from sum to product. So I think we only need to do maybe one more. This is not really hard. It's fairly simple. So cosine 3x plus cosine 2x, cosine plus cosine, cosine plus cosine, cosine plus cosine. You got a 2 cosine, cosine sum have different half. So let me just write here, cosine alpha plus cosine beta equals twice of cosine alpha plus beta over 2. Okay, cosine alpha minus beta over 2. So I put that in the box. And then I will compare this with the formula. So this is the alpha 3x, this is the beta 2x. So that will be 2 cosine. Now, alpha plus beta over 2. 3x plus 2x, that which is 5x over 2. So you get a 5x over 2. And then cosine alpha minus beta over 2. 3x minus 2x, so which is x over 2. And that's it. Okay, so you can tell it's fairly, of course, you don't simplify that as long as you just express the sum as a product. So as long as you get this, you're done. This is a fairly short section, sum to product, product to sum. If you are required to know how to prove it, then you just go back to use the sum and the difference formula. If you are not required, then it's going to be fairly simple. You just need to identify which formula you want to use. Okay, that's all.